Welcome to When Will It End, a podcast with an intro. I'm Josh Landis, joined as always by my co-host Charles Hobby. Charles, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What do you think about the intro?
I liked it.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, we need one.
Desperately.
And we're going to have a song.
We're going to have a song.
I mean, they heard the song already, if we have the song.
At this point, they've heard the song.
Right. We haven't heard the song.
I've heard the song many times.
I've only heard it once.
Big shout out to the band Waste Management from Boston, Massachusetts.
Well, you hate Boston, Massachusetts.
Don't say that.
Why?
I do.
You
It's
hate
a horrible
it. Every
place.
time you come, it's raining.
I don't get it. It's cold. We've talked about this, but like some cities, like when it rains, like they have this like brooding majesty. Like, ooh, Manhattan in the rain. Ooh, am I bogey smoking a cig?
Sure.
Boston in the rain looks like dog shit.
It looks like dog shit before.
It starts dog shit, then it turns into wet dog
Well,
shit.
so no, you always come to the outskirts. You come to Somerville. You come to Alston. If you go to where the rich people are, looks like shiny dog shit.
Ooh, I love that shiny dog
like rich,
shit.
like a dog that shit, like one of those rich dogs.
A well-fed dog.
Sure.
A dog from those pedigree commercials.
That eats silver only.
Right. The dog, they bring out the silver tray, and the dog eats the food.
Eats the tray. No, eats the tray.
Nope.
What channels were you watching as a kid?
Fucking Spice.
I was watching Spike.
How was the Man Channel for men?
Yeah, the Man Channel for
Is that
men.
still a thing?
I don't know. I was a boy then.
And now you're a man, possibly
Watching
because
boys'
of watching
channels.
Broken Arrow on Spike.
Dude, I watched Ninja Warrior. I watched
Ninja Warrior is a great show.
amazing show. I've seen every episode.
Yeah.
Sasuke. Is that racist?
Low key.
I mean, I'm trying to pronounce it authentically, but I guess
You leaned into it. You leaned into
Sasuke.
it. Okay.
I
You think going back to that well is going to make it better?
I'm just trying to get past it through
repetition.
Right.
That's a classic way of getting past something is to
Just
do it over
live
and
it
over again.
Yeah, like Inception.
Ooh, dream
Yeah.
within dream.
Dreams within a
Dream a little dream with me.
Yeah. Well, speaking of dreams.
Hey, we are living the dream today.
Yeah, watching Shrek 2.
Watching the Shrek series.
Wait, should we I think we should make them think we're not just sitting around all day watching Shrek.
Oh no, we worked out. We hung out with our girlfriends.
Yep.
We read books.
Yep.
I had a carrot.
I had multiple carrots.
Yeah, we did some interviews and press for the podcast.
Right.
They flew us to Milan, Barcelona.
Wait, is that racist?
No.
You really leaned into that. Come on, man.
I didn't leave. I said Barcelona. It's
You
Spain.
never-
It's in Europe.
You're not in Spain or in Europe right now. You hate
They don't
those
know that. They don't know that.
Yeah, it's true. Which do you hate more? Do you hate Europe more or Boston more?
Well, I'm closer to Boston, so it's more of a pressing problem.
That's true.
Like I have to go to Boston sometimes.
Right. I live
Mostly
there.
to see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, Europe for the time being is a distant concern.
I think it's more of a concern ultimately. Boston's
That's true. There are more Europeans than Bostonians, which is a blessing
that's nice.
in some ways.
Well, I don't know. There's more to be concerned about. I think Boston is a representation of a problem in America itself. But overall, I think Europe might be a bigger problem globally.
Well, they've been doing their thing for so much longer than Boston,
Sure.
which is astonishing.
Let's let them do it.
Go get them.
Go get them.
You know, in a way, it feels like a land far, far away, Charles.
That's true.
Much
Far,
like the
far
setting
away.
of Shrek 2.
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet? When do we get there?
Are
Did you
we
ever
there
see what was it? The movie with it's Jim Belushi and Carpool. You ever see Carpool?
No.
That's a great movie. If you've seen Carpool, please @ me on Twitter.
Why are you making me look bad on the podcast? Couldn't we have gone over this in pre?
If you're keeping track, that's 1 point me, 0
Wait,
point.
how many points did I get last episode?
We started this point system now,
Okay.
so you're just
All
down.
right.
You're just down.
Fine.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Everyone
I'll
likes
catch
a
up.
comeback story.
I'll catch up.
Okay, let's get into
I
it.
think that's why we like Shrek so much.
We were so excited about Shrek 2.
We
going
were
into it.
We
going
were
into
giddy.
it.
We
Yeah.
drove around.
We drove around. We recorded our Shrek 1 episode. We were so excited. We said, where could the Shrekiverse go from here?
We were very excited.
We were very excited. Now, talk about comebacks. I feel like there was a bit of an arc to watching Shrek 2, where I think very quickly we were both like, oh no, does this suck?
This is bad.
Is this a huge bummer? I mean, in the very strict formula, it's another 90-minute jammer.
Yeah. But what this does differently is it jams real different.
It jams real different. The first third of this is like a bitter, acrid, ugly, hateful movie.
Yeah.
It's a real bummer.
It could have been directed by somebody else.
Marty Scorsese.
Yeah, or a Fassbender. maybe. I think this has like some real Fassbinder vibes going
Well, actually,
on.
Pasolini did a take on the script for this. He did
Really?
a pass on it. Yeah.
Okay, a little different than Fassbinder.
Yeah.
Both Europeans.
Well, I would say there's arguably
Both
almost
fascists.
as much shit in Pasolini movies as there are in
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
the
That's
Shrek
true.
films. They both feature
That's
prominently.
true. Well, just Sallow.
Well, but I know, but like I would say
I mean, the Gospel according to St. Matthew, I don't think it has too much shit in it.
the director's cut I've seen.
Can I get a point
filled
for
with
that?
shit.
Can I get a point for
I
that?
don't think anyone listening gives you a point for that.
Come on.
If I'm wrong, at me on Twitter.
Fuck, you just got another point.
I know.
What a power play.
The secret is to keep saying at me on Twitter.
I don't have Twitter, so.
Actually, I think I'm being redundant. I don't think you have to say on Twitter, but I'm like a fucking.
No, you can
90-year-old
add on
man.
that. You can add on Facebook. You can add on Snapchat. You can add on anything these days, Josh.
Just someone at me. That's all I'm asking for.
Just at no, but you got to be specific. At me on Twitter. I want people to at me on Instagram. I'm an Insta boy.
Yeah, but you've chosen an indecipherable Instagram name. That's also your email address. That is, it's. I've known you for how long?
It's everything.
I've known you for like 8 years.
It's my sign in for everything. I'll always get it. It's my Instagram. It's my.
Can you just not spell it? Just pronounce it. And
Gmail.
if anyone can guess how it's spelled, I will buy them dinner.
I'm sure it's. Wait, what am I doing? Pronouncing it.
Just phonetically pronounce your email and just leave it at that. If anyone can guess how to spell it, how you spell it, I would be fucking astonished.
All right, I can't even pronounce it.
That's. Oh my god.
It's Nefers Bumschmuck.
It sounds like a black metal band, like definitely a racist one.
Nefers Bumschmuck.
It's awful.
But I can get it for anything.
Okay. That's like saying, hey, this like shit smeared piece of garbage. No one else wants it.
Yeah,
It's all mine.
But it's the internet. I can literally sign up for Twitter now.
Wow.
I can do it right now.
Do you think there are Shrek related fan sites that you could sign up for?
Sure.
Yeah. We should look into that.
I can sign up for a message board that's been around since 2001, say.
Well, that
And-
is thrilling. When you
And
put it like
still
that.
get Nefers Bumschmuck.
No, it's true. Like the whole spectrum of the internet is yours. All
You
of
can
it.
Google search that word.
No one can do that.
But I'm saying if you knew how to spell it, you could Google search it and find out my entire life.
if you could simply unlock the key, then the world is
This
yours,
is
my boy.
dangerous.
or
I don't
girl,
like
or
that I'm.
person.
I don't like that I'm telling everybody this.
I don't like that you're talking about this so much.
This is scary.
It's not good.
People are going to see everything that I do on the internet.
Speaking of scary, we got into Shrek 2. The beginning of Shrek 2, everyone is fucking shitty and mean to each other, and it's sad.
It sucked. Like, so we were talking last episode about, first in the series that's the setup. Like that sets the universe. And we decided that the universe was sort of established just to be filled by more Shrek. So we were excited.
Saying blank slate a lot. We were saying blank slate a lot. I think it's more of a sandbox.
Sure, it's a playground.
Big old, well, I like sandbox.
Okay, sandbox in a playground.
Okay, at me. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah, so we were very excited. And the tone shift, it was awful. Like I was not having any fun. I was not happy. And then there were all these really bad jokes. And I was like, Josh, the series is over. The series was not even filmed.
The energy got sucked out of the room. We're watching this movie, and it seemed very quickly that like maybe we'd chosen poorly. Was my immediate concern. We'd chosen poorly.
Let's talk about. Let's do just a little recap of what happened, and then go into series because it's like, I mean, the same directors. And they just must have had to like figure out what to do with these creatures.
Well, to be fair, though, a lot of the questions we had about 1 going into 2 were about where do these relationships go?
Right.
With all this interpersonal stuff. What happens here? How do they complicate this? And they fucking complicated it so much so quickly.
Yeah, they went they went so overboard. It was like watching Seinfeld, but nothing was funny.
The jokes, I would say the first 10 to 15 minutes, very little of the humor lands.
Oh, and do you think they did that on purpose? Probably not.
I don't think so. But basically, just to get into the plot a little bit, to complicate the situation, what they do is they bring in the element of Fiona's backstory, which we really haven't delved into in the first movie at all.
Right.
And they're summoned to this land far, far away where her mom and dad live.
It's called Far, Far Away.
It's pretty good stuff.
That's great stuff because that's in Star Wars. It's a galaxy far, far away.
And fairy tales too.
Really? Once upon a time.
I think you're
In
putting
a land far,
you're doing
far
the cart
away.
before the horse. It's a land before time.
So
Bigfoot.
Wait, what? The cart before the horse?
No. Like Star Wars is drawing on that thing from fairy tales.
Okay,
It's
just
not
like
the other
Shrek
way around.
is.
Just like Shrek is.
Just like Shrek.
Just like
There's a
Shrek.
powerful history of storytelling that they're all tapping into.
I think the problem is this. They launch after like a very weird honeymoon montage. Talk about the guy. You responded very strongly to one of the visual gags.
Which one?
They're on the beach. First off, we see shirtless Shrek for the first time. Shrek is daddy. Shrek is thick.
He's big.
Shrek is daddy.
But he's not. He's a little smooth. He's got a little
very
hair.
Smooth.
But like compare him to a Farquaad.
Farquaad's covered in that.
Covered in that hair.
Okay, so they're on the beach and they're tussling in the surf, and the waves fly away. And who's there?
All right, so first it's Fiona.
Yeah.
Waves come in.
Yeah.
A little magic spectacle of digital wizardry. A mermaid, unnamed.
Very much Ariel. 1,000% Ariel.
Okay.
That shit was Ariel.
Ariel comes in.
Yeah.
And making out with the Shrek dog.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, if I were Fiona, I'd probably be a little turned on by that.
Well, in the movie,
Fiona's Fiona.
They took it a different direction in the script.
Fiona got fucking pissed, and she grabs her by the tail, throws her into the ocean, who then is immediately beset upon by sharks.
Right. It's heavily implied that Fiona like executes Ariel, the Little Mermaid, in the first like 2 minutes of Shrek 2. It's
again
crazy.
The dick comes out, or maybe not the dick. The vag comes out.
They're swinging vag hard in this, and like it's weird because it's a very bitter, mean joke. Like it's more like wow than it is like funny.
But it also really does point to this like tension that we're going to get into about, is this relationship set up to last? Because we don't really get much about, like, yeah, they like each other, they blow up frogs and snakes for each other, but is that the basis for a long-term commitment?
I do love that they just like grab these living reptiles and
right, because it's
effortlessly inflate them into horrific constructions.
I mean, we're in this fairy tale world, but those are real frogs and real snakes.
The laws of physics definitely are very confounding in this.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think it was really like Shrek seemed to enjoy the makeout with the fish woman, Ariel, and I think it really is pointing to like what's going to happen next. Like Fiona killed this fish woman.
No, she killed Ariel
over a kiss.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, we went into a little mom corner. First of all, can we continue the mom section from after we left Shrek 2 running because we wanted to hear Funky Town.
Yeah, my mom was
like wandering your house going, can we turn Shrek off?
It was hysterical.
I was in the bathroom shitting and I was just listening to your mom go, can we turn Shrek off? Can we turn Shrek off?
You were pulling a real Shrek there.
Yeah.
Oh, they both fart in the opening montage.
Right.
They're sitting in a mud bath of presumably their own feces and just letting it rip. Yeah. And you're like, this is the perfect relationship.
But again, there's a darkness there that kids probably didn't notice, and that like they literally are capturing Tinkerbells.
Right.
In just to have a little
crazy.
light, and then farting. There's a scene where the little Tinkerbell's plugging up her little nose.
It's unpleasant.
So I think what Shrek does capture in like the first one, the shit, the piss, it's all out there. In this one, there's like a marriage, like a good marriage. It's all based on like there's the superficial, they're all getting along, but down deep there's a darkness, a murderous rampage.
Wow.
Slavery and farting.
Your girlfriend is a lucky woman.
Yeah. Yes, she is.
So the movie takes a very hard left where they go to Fiona's, her homeland, and it's a really intense LA parody, like a really very inside baseball Hollywood parody. Like they just launch into this like, oh, this fucking town.
Yeah.
It's so like, fuck all this superficial LA bullshit.
Right.
But again, it's like a wide release movie for kids.
Right.
And it's not The Player. This is not like, it's a very weird, like we're going to riff hard on LA. Like where we're making this movie, fuck this town. And it's like a very abrupt tonal shift where in the first film, which in retrospect is barely a movie compared to watching Shrek 2.
It's not a movie.
Right.
I think that's what this podcast is here to do.
Right. I would say,
it's to discover what these movies are. And I think the first Shrek is not a movie. It's a franchise setup.
And this delivers hard on its promise.
Right.
But again, it takes a little bit of effort to get there. I think to its credit, it's a movie where the second third is better than the first third, and the third third is the best, so far, I think the best third of a film we've seen.
I think we were talking West Wing last episode. Let's talk about West Wing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin leaves, and the writers are like, well, what do? We need conflict.
We got to write the worst season of television until Community season 5.
Let's figure out how do we make conflict? We make the people that we love, all of the Joshes. I only really love Josh, so that's all I know.
How can you not love? That's crazy.
We got the Tobys.
Toby
we got the
bucks.
CJs.
CJ's great.
Yeah, we got all those characters that we love. What are we going to do? Even though in the first 4 seasons they're all just like working together, there's a little bit of tension, but mostly they're a team that works together, and we love watching them work in the West Wing. Season 4 or 5, whatever comes along, 5.
5, yeah.
They're all fighting with each other.
Yeah, it's
they
lazy.
don't like each other, so they think conflict is just people fighting. And that's what's wrong with the opening third of Shrek 2 is Donkey and Shrek are fighting. Fiona and Shrek are fighting. The dudes are fighting. Papa Fiona and Shrek are fighting. Like everyone's just fighting, and it's frustrating to watch these people that we love fight.
Right.
And either that's a power play by the filmmakers to like really make you expect to watch this fun movie about people that we love and like, oh fuck, we really got to slog through this shit, or it's just really lazy writing. I haven't figured out which. What do you think?
I honestly want to give them the benefit of the doubt here because the payoff of the movie is so great. Like, I was more and more invested in that movie the more it went along.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the movie, you're like, they did get married pretty quickly. What is the basis of this relationship? They have all this stuff to suss out they haven't actually discussed. Like, it actually, like, it's a real cold shower opening where you're like, oh, this is a flimsy relationship predicated on literal fairy dust. And so now they have to, like, actually explore the roots of their dynamic, and you're like, yeah, how could they be together? I think they genuinely instill doubt in you,
right?
And then they actually resolve it, and I think deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, as our task force did last episode, we like figured out their relationship is 5 days old.
Yeah, which is
when
wild.
They get married. I mean, my parents were like knew each other after 12 days or something. Their marriage lasted 19 years.
That's wild.
Shouldn't have. So like what Shrek 2 is doing is it's taking these.
We'll get back to Charles's family dynamics in later episodes.
So, it's like you can't just expect a marriage to work after 5 days, 2 weeks.
That's a short span.
We don't even have kids yet.
You and I?
No, we do.
Oh, yeah.
But Fiona, we as the audience.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We don't have kids because, when you see the people on screen, they're us. We relate to them. I am Donkey. I am Shrek.
Our kids are named after our favorite directors, Guillermo and Quentin.
Wait, is that one kid, both names?
Yeah, Guillermo and Quentin.
Quentin.
That's a really tough first name.
Guillermo
and Quentin. Hobbies Landies.
Hobbies.
Your name is Hobbies now.
Yeah.
Hobbies Landies.
That's good.
I think it's pretty good.
My mom does this thing where she puts S's on the end of every shop she goes to.
She sounds like an amazing woman.
Yeah, Hannaford's.
I get that. Remember, it was like the Barnes and Nobles.
Yep, everyone does it.
Everyone does it.
It's not everyone. It's the same. I think there's the same breed of people that do Reese's Pieces.
That drives me a little crazy.
Yeah, they're both words.
Yeah,
we got a Reese's and a Pieces. Why are you saying Reese's Pieces?
Well, okay.
Is it more fun?
Speaking of wordplay and names, in the setup of the LA like far away,
man.
they like go to town on like.
I want to watch that in slow motion.
Barney's Old York, Baskin and Robin Hood's, Saxon, Fifth Avenue. Some of them don't even make sense.
I didn't even. Yeah, there was like what Gap Queen.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, there was a Gap Queen, which I mean, I don't get it. Maybe kids get it.
I don't think kids get it.
I was a kid then.
You were a kid then.
I should get that. There was Gap Queen. There was. What was the Starbucks one? I didn't even bother reading.
No, it was just Starbucks. I don't think there was a bit.
Really?
I think they're like, it's so fucking ubiquitous. We're just gonna like.
No, that can't be.
I think. Okay.
All right, you got to add Adam.
Hey, you got to add me.
Add
what was the Starbucks wordplay in Shrek 2?
I mean, we could just watch it again. It's right over there.
It is, yeah. Anyways, okay, so what you're talking about is they have this very young relationship. It's tested in the most intense way possible. They go back to her homeland, and everyone's like, "You're a fucking ogre. You married a fucking ogre. Why the fuck did you do that?
Yeah, and
this fucking sucks."
And what this one does is, which I initially didn't like, but I grew to love, was in the first one, I assumed her origin story was ambiguous and unimportant. Basically, she could have been either a person or an ogre. And then her true love kiss made her an ogre. Not that she changed into an ogre for Shrek. This one
makes it very clear.
That's what happened. But at first I was like, well, that sucks. That's not really cool. But then by the end, I feel like that is what this was about. In the first one, just like being pretty is unimportant. We're all pretty. This one is not only do we sort of change for people, but we also don't. Like, it's about being who you are at heart, but also being with another person and how that changes you. And not really changing who you are, because when Shrek becomes a beautiful, like, thick daddy at the end, he's still Shrek, and she can tell that Prince Charming isn't Shrek.
Right.
Just because he looks like a person that she's never seen
before. Well, we'll get into that.
We'll get into that too, but like, you can't change really who you are.
Right.
You are who you are, but you can make yourself into something that works with another person.
Right. And this movie,
or ogre, or donkey, or dragon.
Well, the first film takes place in the vacuum of magical forest. This is in the heart of the culture industry that breeds that conception of prettiness and conformity.
Right.
And in the heart of that darkness, they have to maintain their individuality. It's beautiful. It's a good story.
It's a good story.
Again, we realize how in Shrek. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We realize how in Shrek 1, they were off in the middle of nowhere. You can explore yourself. Trust me, I've done this. You can explore yourself to incredible extents in the middle of nowhere.
You've jacked off in the middle of nowhere?
That is not what I said.
I'm
covering.
Covering that mic. You actually covered the mic. You did the bit too much, Josh.
Commit to the bit in 2019.
Where is the weirdest place you've jacked off?
Oh, boy. A cemetery. Let's move on from there very quickly.
All right.
Right. No, okay. So, yeah, okay. First off, let's cover some fundamentals. One of our concerns was, what is it? It's 2004 now.
Sure.
A few years have passed.
Yeah.
What is this going to look like? What kind of jump will happen in the visuals of this movie series? Shrek 2, a 15-year-old movie at the time of this recording, gorgeous.
Yeah.
There's actual shots. There's actual cinematography. Right. They do a lot of sweeping stuff, a lot of great transitions. It's a beautiful movie to look at. I liked being in that world. I liked the colors. I think we talked about expanding the universe. They made massive strides from there's still like a relatively tight number of locations and with like weird interstitial woods parts, but like by and large, they really expand the Shrekiverse dramatically on a visual level. And I was really impressed with that.
Yeah. And I'm sorry to keep bringing up Star Wars. I think we said we're never going to talk about Star Wars on this podcast.
And we say a lot of things.
So far we have done that. But I was going to say, like, Star Wars is a good example of like a Shrek 1 problem where you have this supposedly infinite galaxy of stuff, but you really only spend time at 6 locations. And this one really filled in that space that we were like, half the story takes place in a forest that is, we have no idea how big it is or where it is. And then we go to these ghost towns at the other end of things. This one does the job. I think they still have some trouble with people. Some trouble with people.
I would say King Harold, played by John Cleese, is a weird-looking guy. Though we do get to a little bit of context for that ultimately.
Right, but I mean more like townsfolk. Basically, who's the person that they were riffing on at the Golden Globes or the Academy Awards?
Oh, Joan Rivers.
Yeah, Joan Rivers. She looked amazing, and I feel like it was in her contract that they had to spend half the Shrek 2 budget making sure that Joan Rivers looked like a real person, or like a townsfolk person holding a sickle,
right,
or a doused,
still a
torch.
a bit stock, a bit lacking in
weird
distinction.
Yeah.
But speaking of distinction, we were in the last episode I was talking about my concern that like I didn't think Lord Farquaad was enough of an antagonist ultimately. I think he was very kind of a very slight presence in the film, unfortunately. What did you think about Shrek 2's main antagonist, the sort of 1-2 punch of the fairy godmother and Prince Charming?
Well, I think we have they did weird things for being a movie that's sort of about inclusion and understanding and like just being yourself. There was some weird 2004 trans and homophobia in this movie coming from the Prince Charming camp.
Yeah, they really go out of their way to depict him as like a limp-wristed fop in a manner that I just don't think anyone would do like that heavy-handedly.
Right.
And now, which is fine. Like they really play up his like femininity, his use of like makeup, his like obsession with the spotlight. It's ultimately a pretty, I don't know, they don't go all the way with it, but it's more than enough where you're like, okay, like I get the bit and this sort of sucks.
You can read into it. There's a scene where the king is talking to his daughter and she's like, well, he's changed. He's so different. And the king's like, yeah, he's different. And it's like, yeah, you can read it like, yeah, he's not Shrek anymore. But I mean, that could be a weird joke about that he's also gay.
Well, then getting to the major part, which is like, why is this in the movie? They introduce the ugly stepsister at like the dive bar of this kingdom, and it's just flat in its face a transphobic bit to begin with. Like, I'm the ugly stepsister. We're like, okay, like this is. It's just not funny.
It's not funny. It's uncomfortable. Right. It's totally unnecessary. Like, who was laughing at that even then?
Yeah, it's a weird bit. Like, she's ugly because she's masculine. Like, is that it's not funny. I mean, I don't think it was funny then, and I don't think it's funny now. And then she ends the movie grabbing Prince Charming and kissing him, and it's like, why? You could just remove all of this.
Yeah,
I would say it's the most obviously like shitty, weird element in an otherwise great movie.
Right. So from beginning to end, that character is unfortunate. I don't think he really gets much time. He's played by Rupert Everett, who, I mean, if you gave me a lineup of Ruperts, could tell you which one was
Give
Rupert
me some
Everett.
of your big Ruperts.
As I'm saying, like you go to the police, say, they're like, oh, that man robbed that grocery store. They're all named Rupert. Which one is Rupert Everett?
So you're saying there's a circumstance where
here's the thing: there's one robber.
Of Ruperts. It's a gaggle of Ruperts.
One of them robbed the grocery store. One of them is Rupert Everett. Okay. I'm supposed to pick either one. Really,
I'm confused. The criteria is to pick out the criminal or
no, either
Everett.
one. They're really like, this is a 2-for-1 deal. I can get either.
Who hurt you named Rupert?
They know who either is. The police know. It's really a test for me.
Is this like one of those 1-minute mysteries that no one ever solves in a minute?
Yes, okay. It's too hard.
It's very
but I don't know who Rupert is. He was fine. He was the dullest. That being said,
he's given very little to do. I don't think it's his fault. I don't think they give him a lot of stuff to do. Ultimately.
It's sort of like we're similar like to a Lord. I think except for Eddie Murphy and maybe Antonio Banderas, it's like Mike Myers is at his all-time low energy. Get that guy a 5-hour energy drink. Like, this is like the deadest performance the entire movie.
We keep coming back to this, but like for some reason, like he chooses, I don't know if it's the writing or if his own choices, but like he comes off as either like joyless or maudlin or like it's just Shrek himself. The don't give a fuck Shrek we fell in love with in the first third of Shrek 1. That Shrek doesn't seem like he's coming back. Like this Shrek,
he was barely there to begin with.
A lot of mature choices and has a lot of character development. But now he's becoming like we're watching this like rude guy become more emotional and nice, which is unfortunately not riveting cinema.
Yeah, but also he played it off, I think, just badly. I think like what here? Okay, so we knock. We're at Mike Myers' house, Mansion, sure.
Come on, that love guru check.
I mean,
do you think he took points on that? I bet he took points on it. He's like, this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll take points. Don't worry.
don't even pay me.
Give me those points.
Love guru. So yeah, we go to his house and he's like, this is 2001. Say, I am.
Okay, they probably approached him before the year of the film's release.
No. That was all done in a few weeks.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it's all done in a building.
Hollywood
it's not real.
Magic.
It's not real, Josh. None of that's real. They don't have to make sets. They don't have to do anything.
You know, it's funny that it's a movie about magic, because in a way, filmmaking is itself magic. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like we have this role of a lifetime. You're gonna be playing an ogre from one of like the grimiest illustrators. Like I find Steig to have like a real grimy quality to his illustrations.
I think the movies accurately and faithfully depict the amount of grime he loves.
Right. So here we got a grime. It's like, Mike, you're known for being outlandish. You're known for being big. Why don't you come be Shrek with us? And he's like, okay, but maybe I'll just be boring the entire time.
All actors wait for that call.
Can I be Scottish?
Why don't you come be Shrek with us?
He got it, and he chose to be Scottish, and like not even like a interesting Scotsman, just a boring Scotsman.
He just is like either annoyed or like aghast, kind of. He doesn't have as much fun as he's having in the beginning. Shrek himself stops being fun. Right. It's a big problem with the movie.
Yeah. But I mean, I think you mentioned Chris Farley was supposed to be Shrek. Like that, I can imagine. Like that would have been a Shrek. Like just explosive performance.
Yeah.
A man unbound. Cocaine flowing out the nose.
Even in the first movie, we talked about how when the townspeople confront Shrek in the first few minutes of Shrek 1, he's ultimately very human.
Very nice.
Right. Well, maybe not nice, but he
sort of just gives him a little...
He's so like similar to it, other than his strange circular green appearance.
Don't even just say green, because Farquaad's strange and circular.
That's true. So yeah, it's almost like you're playing an ogre. Like, is there more than burping and being kind of like grumpy? And like frequently it's like, no, we get like grumpy or burping. And it's like, I
That's it. That's all it takes.
yeah. Similarly, I don't think, as much as I love Donkey, I don't think he had a lot to do in Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, he was definitely kicked out of the party too.
He was relegated to 3.
So I think
because who joins the pack? Our boy, Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. So Puss in Boots also. So like we were watching this, sitting close together,
as we do,
and there was like Puss in Boots comes along. He's shown to be this like really strong fight. Like, oh, there's only one person that can take down an ogre. It's this cat man. And then you're like, wow, this is gonna be fucking sick. So he goes out to the forest, attacks Shrek by being a cat, which was supposed to be funny.
It wasn't
fine.
that funny. It was like, if you've got a cat, you're going to love this.
It wasn't.
I want to see the sword shit.
Right. I want to see the sword shit.
So bad.
But the worst part was that immediately after that, he becomes like his Chewbacca. Again, sorry, we shouldn't be talking about Star Wars. We're never going to do Star Wars.
Was that like a Solo reference because he owes him a life debt? He saved him from the mines?
Right. That's what it seemed like. He's going to, I'll do anything you want from me. I'm Puss in Boot.
Yeah. No.
And then he's like, why? Because he didn't even, all he did was be like, throw him away. What did he do? How do you even beat him?
We
I
didn't
didn't even fucking remember because it was boring.
We want to see Puss in Boots get into action, and we just don't get it.
And then he switches sides so quickly. Like, that was the problem with Shrek 1, was like the story just moved from beat to beat. They didn't have a plot. It was like, well, we need to hit this shit. And I felt that was what happened with Puss in Boots. Like, if this were a 2-hour movie, which I don't recommend, I think it was a nice tight 90, but like, I feel like we lost something in that transition from meeting Puss in Boots as this like outlandish swashbuckler of power to immediately just being like, nah, I'm just a cat.
Well, okay, I think the problem in the first movie is that they had all the time in the world to kill and very few plot beats. A lot happens in this very quickly. And again, we talked about this. This is like an actual movie.
Yeah.
So like Puss in Boots just changes sides and there we are. But then thankfully there's like sort of a lot to do. So I'm kind of willing to forgive that because they folded into a lot of other stuff. Here's what I want to talk about in this movie that works really well. All of the physical gags kill. I think the dinner table scene where they're fighting over the food, I was like, okay, that old Shrek magic is kicking in now.
Yeah.
Then the whole sequence in the potion factory
Great.
is fantastic.
Great sequence. The origin of Minions, perhaps.
We've talked, I don't want to start anything, an international feud with a European production company like Illumination, but there's very Minions-like figures in this movie.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I would go, I mean, when did Despicable Me come out?
I don't know.
I mean, later than this item.
Far later than that.
Yeah.
By years even.
So I think we got a little Minions inspiration.
Minions inspo.
Minspo. We're just shortening it and shortening. I think that's the shortest we can go.
If you've been inspired by the Minions or you think you have an idea of things that inspired the Minions, hashtag Minspo.
Hashtag Minspo. We're not going to spell it for you.
Minspo.
Yeah, so I think all those gags were great. It really carried you through.
The best gag in the movie, I think, the Sleeping Beauty joke is so funny.
It's so good. Yeah. And that was Joan Rivers coming through hot.
Yeah, she just sets it up and she's like, and here she is, Sleeping Beauty. And the door opens on the red carpet and Sleeping Beauty just falls out of the thing.
Yeah.
That's just funny. I will always laugh at that joke.
He will always laugh. It's true.
From now until the day I die.
He's going to watch it every day.
On my deathbed, I'll request that they play like a 10-second clip from Shrek 2.
Is it going to be that one or something else?
Please. What was the other? There's another joke we both loved. Was it the donkey who turns into a steed?
No, it was. I mean, it was the Mission Impossible one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
we got some stuff. We're a little scattered, but we got some stuff to talk about.
We got stuff.
You asked me a question like 20 minutes ago, and I
Charles,
didn't even answer it.
Forgive me, please.
No, that's
Where
okay.
is the weirdest place you've jacked off?
I mean, I'm pretty tame. I think jacked off. I mean, on the road. I mean, not on the road, but
right
like,
on the asphalt.
Yeah, right on the asphalt. No, just like while I was on the road, you know. Sometimes when I'm sleepy, I jack off.
Wow.
To wake me up while I'm driving. And then I just get like cum all over my shirt. It's a little tricky, but that's probably the weirdest.
Okay. And I believe I asked you another question.
Yes, you asked me about what I thought of the bad guys in this movie.
Yes, I did.
So we only talked about how unfortunately treated Rupert was. But I do think that the villain in this one was good. She was strong. I didn't like her, but like she was a good villain, and I think she really kept the plot moving right along. She was interactive with every character except for the Fiona and the mother, basically.
That's true. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, that is a weird oversight.
Well, no, I mean, I'm going to go on. My dad's he'll never listen to this, so it's fine. I can talk shit about him all I want. Basically, he would know, like, he was one of those people that didn't let us read Berenstain Bears because of the way the father was portrayed as, like, the dumb oaf dad. So I think he would come through and critique this movie being like, oh, the men in this movie are such dummies. Because, like, the whole the food fight scene that we were both, that's sort of like when we started getting into the movie. It's because both those clowns were acting like real dummies.
That's true. And then when Shrek, in a scene of cross-cut dialogue that is so unnecessary,
well, they really maxed it up. I think they knew it wasn't really good, so they just well, let's just max the fuck out of this.
If no one ever did that again, it'd be fine.
Sure.
It's bad.
I don't even know where it came from.
But Shrek is talking about his doubts to Fiona as they approach the mom and the dad, the king and the queen. The king is talking about his doubts to the queen, and both women are like, stop being fucking babies.
Right. And I think it isn't an oversight that the main villain is a woman, first of all. And she doesn't deal with other women in the story because they're not a bunch of fucking dummies that can just be coerced by a person.
That's true.
They're a bunch of dummies. But the men learn.
They sure do.
They learn
They learn the hard way.
Yep.
You can't magic potion your way out of real emotional honesty.
That's true. And you can't not be a frog.
That's true. John Cleese's character, of course,
is a frog.
Great movie. Top marks. 10 out of 10.
But no, that scene made me cry.
It was beautiful. No,
when the dad finally learns that he's being a dick and sacrifices himself and this is my true form and I'm happy that you're happy. That was really emotional. I believed in it.
Yeah, everyone goes. In a way, it's cooler that she's not born an ogre. She opts into this transformation as something she wants to do.
So that's why I love this movie. It turns into something else.
Yeah,
and it's I was a little skeptical at first, and I think that it carried that Shrek name.
It sure did. Okay, well, here's something I want to talk about a minute ago when I rudely forgot the question I had asked before. And Charles, I'm so sorry.
Stop talking about it.
I'm so sorry.
Please stop talking about it.
Will you please forgive me?
No, stop.
Please forgive me.
Maybe
forgive
later.
Me.
Just ask me to cry.
Fine. We'll talk about it at the sushi restaurant.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about how in Shrek 1, they introduce all these fairy tale characters, and you're kind of like, I want a little more of a taste. We saw the gingerbread man get tortured, and it was pretty hot, but I want more.
Yeah. Oh, we get more.
Yes. The element of this movie that makes it transcendent and easily surpass Shrek 1 is that background cast.
Totally.
3 little pigs.
Oh my God. I hated them in the first one. Why are they Swedish? Why don't they wear clothes? Why are they breakdancing?
I thought they were German.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess that
German. Sounds German.
I am the pigs. 1, 2, 3, Diplomahouse eviction.
Yeah.
They sent the eviction notice. Yeah, I guess that's German.
Yeah. Well, they just sort of set up dumb fairy tale jokes in the first one. In
yeah.
this one, they really go for it. There's this, in a wonderful series of the storytelling here is great. They're at home eating chicken wings and watching Knights, which is a Cops parody. And yes, they do an OJ thing in this, which is
wild.
So they go to rescue them from this, I guess the dungeon.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Faraway land. And they do a Mission Impossible thing that is so funny.
I think it might be the best Mission Impossible parody I've ever seen.
It starts with one of the 3 blind mice walking just straight into an open hole in the grate and missing the fuse with his match.
That was my favorite, even though it's a little insensitive.
It's a blind joke, but it's a mouse. So I feel like we could maybe take it in stride that it's a mouse joke.
And I love how he's fine. He really wants to get in on the action.
But then after that, they do a Mission Impossible 1 Pinocchio dangling on strings, and they do the eyes closed Tom Cruise falling through the air thing. It's so funny.
It was great.
Oh, it's so funny.
Slow-mo flipping, and then he, of course,
to capture the self-righteousness of Tom Cruise's face in Mission Impossible 1 with Pinocchio is both.
Well, I don't even think it is in 1 where he looks pretty earnest and stern in that scene where he's very sweaty and just
No, but when he just drops and his eyes are closed. And
I don't think that's even a thing.
It's definitely a thing.
All right, when we do Mission Impossible, which it's not we're going to do those when they're done.
When they're done.
We'll do those.
And honestly, I hope we never do it because I hope they never end.
Such a beautiful thing.
It's true. It's very beautiful.
But yeah, so that scene was great. And I love that it turns right into a weird sexy thong joke.
Yeah, Pinocchio, they do an extended Pinocchio is wearing women's underwear joke, which actually is just funny. It's just a good joke. It's a good bit.
Yeah.
It's a little weirder when it's later revealed he is indeed a young boy. And it
Still
raises
wearing a
a lot of
thong.
questions about his sexual identity at a seemingly young age. But, God bless him.
That was
He's
a great
living
bit,
his best
though.
life. And it's
Where
a
he gets
great
hit
bit.
by a blast and he goes, I'm a boy, and then falls out of scene. And then he turns back into a Pinocchio again.
He just can't win. I think when the
That's
gingerbread man
one
goes,
thing you learn.
it's a thong. We learned this digging into like the Shrekiverse on the Shrekipedia or whatever. But the gingerbread man's voice, which is amazing,
Yeah.
is one of the film's 3 directors.
Yeah. He wasn't a director of one. They're like, you did such a great job as Pinocchio.
That's
We're
Gingerbread
bumping you
Man.
up. Oh, it was Gingerbread Man.
Yeah. I do like
I
that
feel like
idea,
they have the
though.
same voice.
Well, they're hysterical. Both Pinocchio and the Gingerbread Man are so funny.
Yeah, they reminded me of that weirdo from Family Guy.
Oh yes.
Hey guys, I want to cover you up with butter.
Quiggles? What's his name?
I don't know.
Squig.
He's that old guy with the big jaw. And then he also reminds me of some Mr. Poopy Butthole or something from Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
But he preceded both. I think this voice actor, Shrek is an inspiration, much like the Minions.
Yeah, I would say even, contemporary conversations about inclusion ultimately all come from Shrek and Shrek 2.
Shrek 2, perhaps Shrek 3.
We're going to find out. Well, let me ask you this. Looking into this film, I kind of hyped up my Puss in Boots excitement. Ultimately, did the Puss in Boots hype deliver for you?
No.
Oh, wow.
I would still say that Puss in Boots is my least favorite character from the Shrekiverse.
That's really disheartening.
I know, it was disappointing, but I think he caved. Like, his character was so weak at first, I don't think he really ever recovered.
Right.
He did the cute thing in the end, which was like better than the cute thing at the beginning. But like his whole joke about being this badass swords cat, and then he just does the little cat stabs. It was funny. I just don't think he had a character.
It's true. They relied on the shtick a bit much. We didn't really get a lot of that. I hope in the spin-off film, Puss in Boots, we'll learn more about his character, his origins, the depths of his soul.
His meowmers.
His meowmers.
I hope so. I mean, I'm not shitting on him like Shrek would, but I mean, and he likes it actually. So I'm not trying to like, I'm optimistic. I felt let down by the character. I felt let down by his performance. It was a little campy. It was a little, I don't know. It's like if Mike Myers was doing nothing, Antonio Banderas was just like really trying to nail what would it, he's like went method on this. Like, what would a cat swashbuckler be? And he just lived that life for months. And I don't think it really fit with the rest of the cast.
Well, the famous story on the set of Shrek 2, Mike Myers went over to Antonio Banderas, who was living as a cat assassin, and he said, Antonio, why don't you just act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he scratched him.
He scratched him because that's what a cat would have done.
That's what a cat would have done.
That's what a cat would have done.
And stuck his butt in his face.
Big gingerbread man. Maybe my favorite shot so far in Shrek is the sinking gingerbread man with the little gingerbread man on top of his face.
So good. And then he says, be good or something. I forget.
It's amazing.
But yeah, I think that's one thing we talked about. I was laughing earlier when you were mentioning the cinematography because it's weird to talk about cinematography in an animated movie, but there literally isn't any in Shrek 1.
No, it's like watching a computer game, essentially. It's like watching a PS1 game. It's not exciting.
There was none of that awkwardness of like Shrek sitting at the table eating dinner that I got in Shrek 1. I was like, this is just bad. Why are you putting the camera here? They figured that out. There's lots of great pans and zooms and wipes and what other film terms can I use?
Well, I mean, I think everyone
rack focuses. There's so many rack focuses.
Everyone flipped out about WALL-E.
I did. I flipped. I learned how to do a flip.
It's a beautiful move
that year.
Yeah,
because of WALL-E.
Hold on, he's going to do one right now. Incredible! That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so quick.
So quick. This is the fastest flip I have ever seen. This is a gorgeous, well shot, well directed movie.
It is.
And Shrek 1 is like, 100% of that movie rests on the performances. And this is actually, even in the parts of it that were a bit harsh, all of it was fun and beautiful to watch. And I was pretty impressed.
Mm-hmm. That was like sort of what kept me through the first third, was just like, all right, this is nice to look at least. When the last one was really weird and ugly, this one at least is like really beautiful.
Well, and speaking of beautiful, nothing's more beautiful than symmetry. I say that all the time.
You do.
Right. Like what Hollywood has taught us is that having a symmetrical face means that you're good at acting.
Right. Like Tom Cruise, he has got that one tooth right in the middle.
Yeah. One solid tooth.
He does.
You can't make that stuff up.
If you search Tom Cruise tooth, there's a nice image with the line of symmetry, and he's got the one middle one because his teeth were all fucked up back in the day.
Teeth are all fucked up. Okay, so this movie, in addition to being similarly, I want to say it's maybe 91 minutes. It's essentially a tight 90, which is, I'll give a window of 5 minutes on this.
Sure, plus or minus, or just
plus or minus 5.
We're talking 5 or 2.5.
85. 95.
Wow, that's a good stretch.
It's a window. Yeah.
I mean, I would give it just a plus 5 because honestly, I consider anything under 90 to be a tight 90. A 60 is a tight 90.
No, that's not a movie. 60 is a short film.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
60 is not a short film.
No, fuck you.
Come on, man.
I will not, man.
Please?
Okay. So the thing that this also does to mirror Shrek is that it closes with a big musical number. This one, even if you can imagine, I know everyone listening is like, wait, a bigger ending than I'm a Believer featuring Eddie Murphy with Smash Mouth?
Smash Mouth? You
bigger.
Can't.
This
how?
Is bigger.
Josh, tell me how. I can't believe it. I just watched I Can't Believe It.
Because in Shrek 2, baby, they're living La Vida Loca.
Oh my God. With Antonio Banderas.
The great Antonio Banderas joins Eddie Murphy for another rollicking take on an American pop classic.
Yeah.
And this movie, unlike Shrek, introduces a mid-credit sequence.
That's true. And this movie, unlike Shrek, doesn't have a Ray Charles joke.
Right. Well,
I think what this movie does, before we get to that sequence you were just talking about, was its references were not as random.
They were more focused. I think they learned to fold in the more random ones in a lot faster. Like, I feel like the Tiny Tim joke at the end of one, which is like, again, barely a joke. It's like, I don't even know what it is.
And the Babe one, it's like they're not jokes. They're just like, you'll recognize this.
No, they do call that back.
That's true. They do.
Yeah, they do call it back.
They do. But now it's like, it's sort of like Terminator. Like, that's now a callback to the Thing, not to Babe.
Right. It's Arnold in Commando saying, I'll be back a year after Terminator.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they do a mid-credit sequence.
Yes, which was very exciting.
Which is great because the whole movie, Charles was like, well, where's the dragon?
Well, because the whole true love
where's
potion.
The dragon?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Please, Josh, where's the dragon?
Because the whole true love potion was they both change to be beautiful and then they have to kiss them before midnight. And I wanted to see what the dragon turned into. I never get to know. I'll never get to know.
Never do.
FOMO to the highest degree over here.
Well, hold on to that thought because we have 2 more movies to watch. We don't know what can happen.
That's true. And I also ain't missing out on those babies.
No. Yeah, so the dragon inexplicably returns, and there's a very weird moment that you noticed where Shrek and Fiona are just there waving for a minute, and it's really weird because like why are they there?
I think one thing to do with Shrek, if we were to choose to watch these again, is to find the parts of the screen that they want us to be looking at, and then look at the rest. Because like we noticed in the carriage ride, Donkey and Shrek are talking to each other, and Fiona is just like staring at nothing for 30 seconds because they're like,
what do we do with this animation?
What do we do with her? Or like, is anyone even going to notice? So like, yeah, all these outskirts animation, they really skimped on that budget.
She looks frequently terrible in the beginning of that movie. Like, what is going on? Like, affectless and glassy.
Right.
And like,
yeah.
It's bad.
It's bad. But in the end, they're both waving. They look great.
They're happy. Dragon is there. They're not in the scene. They're just like there waving. Hi. And then the dragon shows up and
pukes out a bunch of babies.
Pukes out a bunch of donkey dragon babies, and Eddie Murphy delivers the immortal line, "Look at our mutant babies," or something. It's
yeah, that's it.
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, there was puke in this one. I guess hairballs. No,
there's
puke.
The cat does the hairball. There's magical snot.
Yeah.
Where Shrek snots all over a mushroom, which turns into a flower. Because
right.
What is more true love than a mushroom becoming a flower?
Right, but where's it going to kiss? A bee, perhaps?
I mean, that's very literal in this case, but, maybe.
Are there bees in the Shrekiverse? That has not been answered.
We haven't addressed that yet.
They haven't addressed it. We've addressed it.
We have 2 more movies.
They better bring the bees in.
Please bring the bees in, please.
Please. Whatever their names are. 3 directors. And do you think there's going to be a 4th director in Shrek 3?
That would be thrilling. So we're getting to that point in the podcast. I want to ask you, looking into Shrek 3, I think we agree, first off, I'm not asking when will it end right now.
Oh, no. I was ready to call it quits. Honestly, at minute
10
20
or 20 minutes in, it was like...
I was ready to be like, Josh, I can't even finish this. This is the end of Shrek. It never got started.
And then it proved to be easily the best of the first 2 films.
Right. I don't know. The better.
The better.
Best is a superlative. You need more than 2.
God. Well, we'll have a chance to bring out best when we talk about Shrek 3.
That's true.
Just right now...
we probably should wait because there is a fourth, we should probably just wait.
We can take it one at a time.
All right. But I mean, until
right
we use
now,
the term best.
Right. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I'm just. Shut up. Okay.
Right now, neither of us are asking when will it end.
No, we're not. I mean, we are, but we're answering it. I don't care.
I don't care, baby.
I don't care.
I'm on this fucking Shrek roller coaster, and I'm going to ride it all night long.
All night long. We actually are going to ride it all night long.
We're probably going to be recording this until very late. But no, here's my thing. I'm very concerned. Shrek 1, it's great. Kicks the door open. Big nut swinging all-star style. Shrek 2 introduces real stakes. Like actual things happen. There's more than 3 locations. A lot of things. It's a great movie. I'm a little concerned about the momentum here because they threw so much into Shrek 2. Like a lot happens in this movie. And the detail is wonderful, from the diary to the shots of all of Far, Far Away. Like they've really given us this densely, richly realized world. So they've gone from like the rural magical woodland to like the fake LA thing. I'm excited for Shrek 3. Where are we going to go next? Because now I've never seen this. You've never seen this. So I guess I have a lot of excitement and a lot of concern.
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
Because this one we were talking about the Shrek roller coaster, which I hope there is one, and I hope to go on one day.
Dream big.
Yeah, I mean, but in this metaphorical sense, this one movie was a roller coaster ride where it was like the beginning of the roller coaster was waiting to go up the thing, and like the thing was long. What's the thing?
About 90 minutes long.
No, I'm saying like, on a roller coaster, you're supposed to be like enjoying the speed and the thrills and the curves and the flips and the upside downs.
Yes.
I feel like I was ready for this. I don't think this is really working. I'm just going to keep going with this metaphor. I'm not sure it's working.
Hey, why not?
So I see like the Shrek 2 was a roller coaster, even though both are also a roller coaster. But we're talking about this one roller coaster.
This is the worst metaphor
it's fine.
I've ever heard.
It's going to be good.
Okay.
So this one, like the first few minutes, it was like being dragged up, or more like it was flat. We weren't even...
I'm actually mad at you.
Josh.
Please stop this.
It's okay.
Jesus
so like...
Christ.
When
will this end?
The first 20 minutes...
Holy shit.
...of the movie, not the metaphor, was like a flat thing. We weren't even going up a hill to go down a hill.
Are you trying to say the first one was less exciting than the second one?
No, I'm just talking about the second movie.
Jesus.
Okay, I'll scrap the metaphor.
Jeez, that was awful.
It's making me angry. I'm so sorry.
Boo, I hate
No,
that.
come on. It's just a roller coaster metaphor.
Okay, God, just to get the fucking smoking wreckage of that. You liked the second one more.
No, please just be quiet. Please be quiet. I'm going to start over.
Okay.
Shrek. So Shrek 2 is, I'm just saying, in relationship to Shrek 3, I'm ready for anything because Shrek 2 was its own roller coaster where I had ups and downs.
You're primed for Shrek 3 because Shrek 2 took you all over the place.
Right, because Shrek 2, I'm going to start over now that you know at the end.
This is the third start.
It's like, when you're on the roller coaster, you're like, all right, I know there's going to be this slow uphill thing, but it's going to get me to the down. It's going to get me to the flips, the upside downs, and the twirls and the scoops.
Stop describing roller coasters.
But this one was like, I was dragged along and I was sitting next to some guy and we're like, where's the roller coaster? And I was like, nudging the guy next to me.
Yeah,
and
that guy hates you.
He's like, I don't know where the roller coaster is. But after 30 minutes, we got there. And then we got to the loops, the double loops, the barrels.
Stop fucking talking about roller coasters. Stop talking about roller coasters. Okay. Shrek 3, looking into Shrek 3, I think we're both excited about seeing more development in the Shrekiverse. They got to take us to a new place at this point. We've been to Dulac. We've been to the swamp.
Why were we at Dulac? Don't know.
We've been to Far, Far Away land. I want to see more in the universe at this point. I think that, if they can hone this sort of more measured but more cinematic version of Shrek, I'd like to see that.
It's so weird to think about the first one now, just like how dead it was.
Yeah, visually
and we
speaking,
noticed it.
Yeah,
but then seeing the second one, it's like, wow, that was just like it was so empty, and now we get this. 3 years. When Shrek 3 from?
That's a good question.
2006, I think.
It's a few more years in the future.
Yeah, so we keep having all these breaks. I think they're either waiting for a new stockpile of pop culture to work off of, or animating. I don't know what they're doing, but that's the thing with Shrek. It could go either way, or it could be both. I see a lot. Basically, what I want from it
So Shrek 3 is from Shrek the Third, I should say.
Sure, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, we're all sorry. It is from 2007.
Okay, so that's
another 3 years.
3 years go by, so they're going in threes.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I hope to get out of it is, I mean, we haven't even, like, the beginning of Shrek 2, Donkey talks about his dragon problems, but they've obviously been fucking.
They clearly fuck. There's evidence of their population.
There's loin evidence.
Loin evidence, yeah. In we got half a dozen fucking donkey dragons.
Yeah, he's got thick fucking power sperm.
He's very virile.
Yeah,
that donkey cum is bursting with life. Let me say this. I just did a little Googling. I'm not boasting, but I did a little Googling.
Wow.
Shrek the Third takes a precipitous critical drop.
I don't want to know that.
I just want to say, going into it,
we're gonna have to expect the worst now.
Well, but how much worse could the beginning of Shrek 2 be? Because you were out of it. I was watching.
I was angry,
and you were visibly like, I was like, we have made a mistake.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's the thing, is we're gonna get to that end at some point.
Yeah,
I think it's coming. I do think, like, it's hard. I think there's, as you've said, they're struggling with Mike Myers' performance. They're struggling with Eddie Murphy keeping him relevant. I think the first one had a bubbling energy with its cast that's no longer there, and they're trying to find ways to liven it up with bit characters and cameos. Is it going to work again?
Yeah, it's a lot to put weight on that many supporting characters to get through a movie,
especially as your main cast is getting more and more uninteresting. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be about Dragon Donkey. It's going to be about who knows? I can't really keep making it about Fiona Shrek problems. Puss in Boots is going to be a big part of it, I think. I think his own spin-off, so he's got to be.
He popped so big in Shrek 2.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's so interesting.
I kind of get it for kids. Like, it's a silly cat. It's fun.
He makes the cat eyes.
I love the cat eyes. I want to go on the record. That shit was burned into my memory. Those cute little cat eyes.
Those cute little cat eyes.
And killed it.
Yeah, so it's. I'm ready.
I think we're both ready.
I think it could go either way, and I don't. I see. That's the thing, is I'm not, like, I'd still rate these as middle class movies. You know, blue collar. I don't know. I said middle class.
Blue collar
movies.
You think a lot of, like, factory workers put down their gloves for the day and, like, well, time to watch the Shrek franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say these are like two.
I'm gonna have a cold beer and turn on Shrek the Third,
but not a craft beer. Not even a PBR. Something like a Miller or a Milwaukee something. What are people drinking these days?
You're wearing the craft brewery hoodie that you work at.
All right, I'm saying, like, what does a non-craft person drink?
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
You're goddamn.
I'm sorry. I was trying to do something like cool, but not. I'm sorry.
I do want to say that we were recording this episode on the day of the AFC, NFC, NFL championships, and all the world is watching Drew Brees and Tom Brady. We're sitting here in a small room
watching
Shrek.
Yeah, that's how I want it.
I think that's what our lives are going to be.
You know what? My dad sends me these, like, YouTube recaps of football games. They're amazing.
No,
they're 8 minutes.
Tree. They're so funny.
I don't know. I'm just, like, seriously, like, just NFL produces the recaps of everything that exciting happened in a football game. They're 8 minutes long. I watch it. Oh, that was exciting.
No, synopsized football is great. The actual thing is miserable.
It's really bad. But yeah, so we're ready for more Shrek. Yeah, insert outro here.
Insert outro here. When will it end? We'll continue with Shrek 3. Check it out.
Outro. This has been a podcast from Josh and Charles Productions, produced by Josh Landis, edited by Charles Hobby. Got that waste management tune at the front. If you liked it, check them out. They're on Spotify. They're on SoundCloud. You can probably buy some dumb media that doesn't really exist anymore from them. I'm sure you can. If you liked us, you can review us, rate us on iTunes, and you can also like us, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all as at WWIE Podcast. You can send us emails. We'd love to hear from you if you have any ideas for other films we should be watching, or just want to talk to us, WWIEpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks so much for listening, and you know when we'll be back.